Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Navira Salsabila, and today I will explain about comparative adjectives. Comparative adjectives. Most adjectives have three forms: the absolute or the basic adjective form, the comparative, and the superlative. Comparatives are used to show that one item has more of some quality than another does. We use comparative adjectives to show change or make comparisons. For the example, this car is certainly better, but it's much more expensive. Second, I'm feeling happier now. Third, we need a bigger garden. We use than when we want to compare one thing with another. For the example, first, she is 2 years older than me. Second, New York is much bigger than Boston. Third, he is a better player than Ronaldo. When we want to describe how something or someone changed, we can use two comparatives with and. For the example, the balloon got bigger and bigger. Second, everything is getting more and more expensive. Third, grandfather is looking older and older. We often use the with comparative adjectives to show that one thing depends on another. For the example, the faster you drive, the more dangerous it is. It means when you drive faster, it is more dangerous. Second, the higher they climbed, the colder it got. It means when they climbed higher, it got colder. Superlatives are used to show that one item in a group of three or more has the greatest amount of some quality. We use the with superlative adjectives. For the example, it was the happiest day of my life. Second, Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Third, that's the best film I have seen this year. Fourth, I have three sisters. Jane is the oldest and Angela is the youngest. The chart explains how comparatives and superlatives are formed. 1. Syllable adjectives for the absolute, warm for the comparative, warmer, and for superlative, the warmest. Some two-syllable adjectives have the correct form of both the comparative and the superlatives. For the example, narrower and more narrow. Second, clever and more clever. Third, polite and more polite. Fourth, narrowest and most narrow. Fifth, cleverest and most clever. And the last, polite and most polite. A negative comparison can be expressed with the words less and least. Less and least are used no matter how many syllables an adjective has. First, less bright and the least bright. Second, less expensive and the least expensive. The absolute form of a few adjectives ends in -er. Example, tender, bitter, slender, clever, and so on. Don't confuse these with the comparative forms. For example, more bitter or bitter. Many adverbs also have comparative and superlative forms. The comparative and superlative form of all like adverbs are formed with more and most. For example, more brightly and most brightly. Second, more importantly and most importantly. A few adjectives and adverbs have irregular comparative and superlative forms, irregular comparatives and superlatives. Good or well, better, and the best. Bad or badly, worse, and the worst. For, far, or farther, or further. The farthest or the furthest. Far has two comparative and superlative forms, depending on how the word is used. But the distinction between these two forms will not be test. Okay, I think that's all that I can explain to you. I hope this material will be useful for all of you. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.